What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys.
back here again with another video. Today I want to talk about 8 of the 76 brand new backward compatible games, specifically because these 8 games are delisted. Now, as you may already know, Xbox just added 76 games to the backwards compatibility program. Most of these are still purchasable, meaning that you can purchase them digitally and you don't need a physical copy. However, 8 of these 76 games are delisted, so this means a few things for these games, including the fact that more than likely they're going to become more rare due to the fact that they are physical only backwards compatible titles. We've seen this with games like Silent Hill Downpour, Driver San Francisco, and Peter Jackson's King Kong. Those are 3 games that have been backwards compatible for a few years now, but only are backwards compatible with a physical copy. So those 3 games ended up being a lot more expensive due to the fact that they're backwards compatible physical only titles. And more than likely that's exactly what's going to happen here with these 8 titles. So I would predict that these games are going to become a lot more rare in the retro gaming market. Not only that, but the price on them is definitely going to go up. In this video, I'm going to go over the current price on the market for each of these games, just for history's sake, so maybe we can look back at this video in a few months or in a few years to see how much the price on these games has really gone up. Now, this backwards compatibility update just came out 2 days ago, so for example, companies like GameStop or a lot of these retro game stores haven't adjusted their pricing on these games accordingly. Even a lot of people that have these games listed on eBay haven't realized that they're probably worth more now. However, over time, we're going to start seeing the prices go up on these games. I promise you that. It might take a while for eBay and all of these resellers to reflect the fact that these are backward compatible physical only titles. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into these 8 games, starting off with the one that I think is going to be the most rare of them all, and that is 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. This one just became backwards compatible in the new Xbox 20th anniversary update, but unfortunately it is delisted, probably due to some licensing issues with some of the music in the game. The really cool thing about this though is the servers are still up, so you can play online co-op with a friend, which would help you get those co-op related achievements. So on the bright side, the servers are still up for this game, so mad props to THQ for keeping the servers up, because as of right now, this game is completable. You can get the full 1000G out of the full 1000G. The other cool thing I want to mention about this game, for achievement hunters at least, is the fact that 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, the Japanese version, has a separate 1000 gamer score. And who knows, you may not be familiar with the fact that you can get region stacks and play them via backwards compatibility. So if you can get your hands on the Japanese version of 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, that will work in your Xbox, because Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles are region free. So you can play Japanese Xbox 360 games on them as long as it's backwards compatible. So if you're going for that Japanese stack, you can get a hold of the physical copy and you'll be able to play it on your new console. But believe me, that Japanese version is going to be even more rare and more expensive than the USA or PAL versions. Now, let's look at TrueAchievements.com. It says a little over 31,000 people have played this game, and only 3,746 of them, about 12%, have completed it. True Achievement says that it's going to take about 12 to 15 hours to get the full 1000 gamer score. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at PriceCharting.com. Now, it says loose, this game is about $29.76 on average, and complete, it's worth about $30.58. That's as of today. The price on this game is only going to go up. I already checked eBay, and as of right now, they're pretty much sold out after the backwards compatibility announcement. There's only one US seller that has one up right now, and it's up for $149. So as you can tell, this game's going to become a lot more rare, and it's definitely going to get pricier, and it's definitely going to be a while before eBay replenishes any type of listings for this game, and if they do, they're probably going to be expensive. So your best luck at getting this for cheap is trying to find it in the wild, but you retro collectors know how it is. It's pretty hard to find games like this out in the wild. Personally, I do own this game. I'm really glad I picked it up. I purchased it from a GameStop that was closing. Unfortunately, it does have a GameStop case, but at least I had the disc and the manual inside. So that's how I'm able to play 50 Cent Blood on the Sand on Xbox Series X. If you guys are interested in seeing what this game runs like in backwards compatibility, let me know down in the comments and I'll try to get a gameplay video uploaded for you guys. Alright, other than that, on to the next one. So the next 2 games are F.E.A.R titles. With the 20th anniversary backward compatibility update, they added support for all 4 F.E.A.R games: F.E.A.R 1, F.E.A.R 2, F.E.A.R 3, and F.E.A.R Files. The only thing about it is only 2 and 3 are up for sale. the first F.E.A.R and F.E.A.R Files are both delisted. So if you're interested in playing the original F.E.A.R or F.E.A.R Files, you will need a physical copy. If you can get a physical copy of the first F.E.A.R, one cool thing about it is not only is it backwards compatible now, but they added FPS boost. So you can play with increased frame rate if you're playing on a next-gen console. So the original F.E.A.R and F.E.A.R Files are going to get rare and pricier moving forward. F.E.A.R Files was already kind of a rare physical copy. Even before the backward compatibility announcement, this game on average was like $25 to $30 if you could find it. So F.E.A.R Files especially is going to be expensive moving forward. So if you see a copy in the wild, I highly recommend picking it up. I do know that there was a ton of people excited to see all 4 F.E.A.R games added to the backward compatibility list. But again, unfortunately, all 4 are not for sale. The first one and F.E.A.R Files, you'll need the physical copy because those ones are delisted. Now, let's talk achievements on the original F.E.A.R. So it looks like the servers are still up for this game. On top of that, it has no unobtainables, meaning that you can get the full 1000G out of the full 1000G. But by no means is it easy. It looks like True Achievements has over 66,000 people that have played this game, and only 826 of them, roughly 1%, has completed it. True Achievement says that it's going to take about 40 to 50 hours to get the full 1000G. I can imagine it's a lot easier if you have boosting partners, because without a boosting partner, this is definitely going to be a harder completion. Alright, and next let's look at pricecharting.com for the original F.E.A.R. So, just the disc, on average, sells for $8.40. Complete sells for about $12.63. Brand new, $40.85. So this one hasn't got too expensive yet. If you can grab a copy off eBay or your local retro gaming store, I highly recommend it, as this game is probably definitely going to go up in price, due to its physical only backward compatibility update. Not only that, but this F.E.A.R in particular got the FPS boost upgrade. So there's going to be a lot of people trying to get their hands on the physical copy of this game again. Alright, next let's look at F.E.A.R Files on True Achievements. So roughly about 12,000 people have played this game, and only 437 people, roughly 4%, have completed it. True Achievement says that it's going to take about 25 to 30 hours to get the full 1000 gamer score. Again, a lot of multiplayer related achievements, but luckily the servers are still up, so you can go ahead and get the full 1000G out of the full 1000G, as the game does not have any unobtainable achievements. Now, let's look at F.E.A.R Files on pricecharting.com. Again, this is only the pricing for the game as of this video. More than likely, the price on these games is definitely going to go up, guys. For just the disc, you're looking at about $12. Complete, you're looking at just under $15. Personally, anytime I've seen this in the wild at any retro gaming store, it's definitely over $20, like $20 to $30. I can imagine that the game is going to end up being around that price once the market reflects that it's a physical only backward compatible title. Alright, so the next one on the list is the only LEGO game that is currently delisted, that being LEGO Lord of the Rings Xbox 360. I do know that there was a lot of people requesting this one so that they could have all the LEGO games via backwards compatibility. I think the only thing that was discouraging Microsoft from adding it previously was the fact that it was delisted and that you would need a physical copy. So if you want to play LEGO Lord of the Rings via backwards compatibility, you can definitely do that now, but you're gonna need a physical copy. Now let's talk achievements. True Achievements says that over 62,000 people have played this game, and about 13,456, roughly 21%, have completed it. True Achievement says that it's going to take about 25 to 30 hours to get the full 1000 gamer score. This game also does not have any unobtainable achievements, meaning that you can get the full 1000 out of the full 1000 gamer score. Now let's take a look at pricecharting.com. For just the disc, you're looking at about $7.50, and complete, you're looking at just under $9. But again, as of this video, the market really hasn't reflected the fact that these are physical only backward compatible games now, which again is going to make them a lot rare, and we're going to see the price go up. So if you're interested in having any of these games, I recommend trying to look for them and get them before they get too expensive. Next, we're going to have 2 Mortal Kombat titles. Surprised to see that any Mortal Kombat game is delisted, but Mortal Kombat 2011 is now backwards compatible, but unfortunately it's delisted, meaning that you're going to need a physical copy of this game to play it via backward compatibility. The cool thing with this one is there was a lot of copies printed for this game. A matter of fact, it was in the Platinum Hits, so you can find the regular version or the Platinum Hits version. Either one will work via backwards compatibility. Specifically, Mortal Kombat Complete Edition was already pretty rare and expensive, being that it includes all of the DLC characters, which a lot of them got delisted. So that's really the only way to get the DLC characters at this point, is with the physical copy of Mortal Kombat Complete Edition. I do want to point out that all of the DLC or extra characters don't have any additional achievements. It's only worth 1000 G, so you don't really need the characters unless you want to play with them. Aside from it being delisted, the servers are still online for this game, so you can still get the full 1000 G out of the full 1000 G. A matter of fact, let's go ahead and look at trueachievements.com. It shows that over 146,000 people have played this game, and only 594 have completed it, less than 1%. It says that it's going to take well over 200 hours to get the full 1000 G. So getting this completion is definitely going to be a stretch, but if it's something you want to go for, it's officially backwards compatible. The only thing is that you are going to need that physical copy. Just know that the regular version will work, the Platinum Hits version will work, and also the Complete Edition will work. Now, let's take a look at price charting for the regular version. For just the disc, you're looking at about $8. Complete, you're looking at about $9. But as I mentioned earlier, expect the prices to go up as the backward compatibility announcement was just 2 days ago. Now, if you want to get your hands on the Complete Edition, it's going to be a lot harder to do so. It says that just the disc is about $10 and Complete is about $11. Personally, anytime I seen this in the wild, it was about $20 to $30 for the Complete Edition. So if you're looking to get a physical copy of this game, I recommend looking for the Complete Edition because it does include the DLC characters. However, if you're only into achievements, it's probably worth just getting the regular version. Really, at this point, I'd take any version that you could get. Next, we got another Mortal Kombat title, Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Another really awesome game to see added to the backwards compatibility program. I swear, like a month ago, this one was actually still listed on the Xbox 360 store for $10. I really regret not buying it now because it seems like once it was added to backwards compatibility, it was delisted. So now you're gonna need a physical copy of the game to be able to play it via backwards compatibility. That is, unless you purchased the digital version previously. For those that aren't familiar, this is exactly what it sounds like. All of the Mortal Kombat characters versus all of the DC Universe characters. Except you don't really have the blood and gore that you're used to in a Mortal Kombat game. Now, let's go ahead and look at trueachievements.com. It says over 103,000 people have played this game, and only 263 of those 100,000 people have completed it. So way less than 1%. And similar to the other Mortal Kombat, it says that it's going to take well above 200 hours to get this full 1000 G. The only thing with this one, guys, is it does unfortunately have 2 unobtainable achievements. So if you don't have these achievements already, it is not even possible for you to get the 1000 out of 1000 anymore, as True Achievement shows that 2 of these achievements are unobtainable. Who knows if they'll end up fixing them or not, but as of right now, you can't get the achievement for winning a chat room match online, nor playing 100 chat lobby matches. The only thing with this one is I think the servers are still online, so the achievement should work. So I don't know, maybe we can get a patch or something like that, but just keep in mind if you're a completionist that you may not be able to get that full 1000 out of full 1000 if you get it started. And similar to the other ones, we're going to check out pricecharting.com. It looks like the disc is worth about $6.50. Complete, it's worth about $7. Before this backward compatibility update, I'd see people post them on OfferUp all the time for about $10, $15. And anytime I seen it in a retro store, it was about $15. But again, I would expect the price to spike on this one as well, especially because it's Mortal Kombat and DC. It's probably one of the more popular ones out of these 8 titles. So if you see Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe in the wild, I highly recommend picking it up. Next, we have a bit of a random one, Rio. It's based off of the Children or Family movie in 2011. I think the main reason that this got added to the backwards compatibility program is being that it's published by THQ. THQ is a big supporter of Xbox's backward compatibility program. They also added support for a bunch of their other games, but this is the one that's delisted. So if you're interested in playing Rio via backwards compatibility, unfortunately you are going to need a physical copy of it. That is unless you purchase the digital version prior to it being delisted. Now, trueachievements.com shows that 5,156 people have played the game, and about 1,300 of them have completed it, roughly 25%. So it appears to be a fairly easy completion. However, it does say that it's going to take about 12 to 15 hours to get the full 1000 G. Luckily with this one, we don't have any unobtainable achievements, meaning that if you're a completionist, you can get that full 1000 out of full 1000 gamer score. Alright, in number 8, finally we have Skate 2. Skate and Skate 3 were always part of the backwards compatibility program, but we were always missing Skate 2. Again, I think Microsoft was discouraged from adding this to the backwards compatibility list, being that it's been delisted for a while now. I'm not too sure exactly why it got delisted, but I can imagine it's due to some licensing issue with some song in the game or something like that. So, the original Skate and Skate 3 are up for sale, however Skate 2 is delisted, meaning that the only way to play this via backwards compatibility is with that physical copy, unless you purchased a digital version prior to it being delisted. Luckily, I did buy this on sale digitally a few years ago before it got delisted, so to play this, I don't need a physical copy, but believe me, that's not going to be too common, so for the most part, you're going to need a physical copy of Skate 2 if you want to play it via backwards compatibility. Now, let's talk achievements in Skate 2. Over 63,000 people have played this game, and only 1,323 have completed it, roughly 2%. True Achievement says that it's going to take about 30 to 35 hours to get the full 1000G. However, I do gotta point out that there's some DLC related achievements, so it's actually 1,500. So just keep in mind this game has 6 unobtainable achievements, so there's 6 achievements you will not be able to get. Even more are going to be discontinued soon, as they just announced the servers are going to close for Skate 2 starting on December 10th. Now, out of all 8 games, this is the one that I can imagine could end up getting relisted depending on if they can renew the licensing for all of the songs in the game. If it does happen to get relisted digitally, it's obviously more readily available and the price isn't going to spike. Now, keep in mind, if these games happen to get relisted at any point in time, the price will obviously reflect that, being that the game is more readily available. For example, all of the other games that just got added to backwards compatibility, being that they're available digitally and backward compatible now, they're more readily available, so for those games, the price should actually go down rather than spike. Being that the game is more accessible now, you can simply purchase it online digitally, download it, and play it. You don't need that physical copy. So, with all of the other games that got added in this backward compatibility program, you should actually expect the physical copies of those games to go down in price. But for all of the ones that are delisted, expect the price to go up. Aside from that, that's going to cover all 8 delisted games from the new backward compatibility update. Hopefully we can see some of these games relisted eventually. If anything, I can maybe see Skate 2 being relisted, or maybe the Mortal Kombat games. Oddly enough, F.E.A.R and F.E.A.R Files is available on Steam, so I'm not too sure why it wouldn't be available on Xbox, but hopefully Microsoft can work on the licenses for some of these games and they can get relisted. But until then, you're only going to be able to play these 8 backward compatible titles with a physical copy. Aside from that, make sure you guys check out my video going over all 76 new backward compatible titles. Other than that, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including Tim G84, AOJ, Kegger101, Kana25, Michael Banksa, and Cursed Souls. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.